Okay, so welcome back, guys. So yesterday I did uh, well, you can call reaction, but not reaction because you won't see my face, so I'm not actually reacting. I'm just probably discussing what the song what the band play Waltzing Matilda have impact have on on impact have on the impact with the ANZAC Day and the Australian election. So today I'm gonna do a short version because the last time I think somebody actually asked me why you take like an hour. Well, actually, because I'm a vet myself, so I actually go on a tangent on a lot of things that actually inspire. But I mean, I'm gonna do a shorter version this time with the but this time we're not gonna react to the not react. How do I keep saying react? Anyway, this time we're not gonna goes on the same song but sung by different people. This is from the Lancer Band, the Band Played Waltzing Matilda band. So this is Australian Army base. This is Australian Army band based in Parramatta, which is where I live, and they have the rendition of the Band Played Waltzing Matilda. So again, let's just go back to. So this is gonna be a short version. It'll be like 25 to 30 minutes instead of 1 hour and 10 minutes. I'll try to cut it short. Just explain the core concept. So first of all, let's start with who I am. My name is Gary, and I'm a former U.S. Army vet. I'm a U.S. Army vet, a former U.S. Army. I'm a U.S. Army vet. I was 1980 when I joined the Army. I was an officer. Then later on, I transitioned to Ranger School, and then I worked staff afterward. So I was S3 first, operational officer, and then S2 intelligence officer. So my field is intelligence, but I was deployed twice, first in Iraq, second in Afghanistan. My deployment is like 20 years ago, so it was a long time ago. So this is my background, and well, I don't speak Australian, even though I'm in Australia for like 14 years, but I do speak vet. So yeah, I think that's a common language. Anyway, let's just start. So what the title is, the band play Waltzing Matilda. So the first thing I have to explain is what's Waltzing Matilda. If you look at the screen now, I'll put it up, the lyric. So basically, Waltzing Matilda is a poem, poem. It's called poetry. Is the form. It's a poem that written, I think, in the early 1800s, and it was translated into a song, and then translated into a tune that we use it to march in Australia, like not just military march, but everything. Your local footy team win the grand final, they gotta march in the city, or state of origin. They gotta march in the city, and they gotta be playing Waltzing Matilda, in the either Salvation Army band or probably Australian Army band. I don't know. So that's what Waltzing Matilda is. The closest thing we got in the States it's called the I don't know if but it's the Washington Post march, not match. Washington Post march. Sorry, my punctuation, pronunciation is really bad because I still carry out from the infection. You probably can hear my voice, hardly able to speak. But anyway, so basically, you play everywhere. So for the song itself, you can see it's like a folk song about some transient you would call hobo in America, like roam around Australia and then go around what we call Billabong, which I actually found out recently is not a place. It's actually it's like a watering hole, like a small lake. People camp by, and then you steal a sheep, and then got chased around by the local authority, like Let Kelly, which is another like lawman or something, like outlaw, stuff like that. I mean, it's just like a common folklore song, right? And then that be playing by band across different stages of his life. And basically, this song is about how the guy who wrote it, Eric Boyle. I mean, if I butcher your name, sorry about that. reading in a teenager point of view in 1915 when he was roaming around Australian eastern seaboard and joined the army, fought in Germany, got wounded, and then shipped back home, maimed, and all the while, at different stage of his life, he heard the band play Waltzing Matilda. So this is the title, the band played Waltzing Matilda. So we gotta start the video now. I hope this is not really like DMCA or something. I mean, I hate to do 30 minutes of work and then it just got cut off. But this is Australian Army play, so it should be all right. Not sure, but let's just watch. I gotta cut it like every verse. So, not every verse, every 2 words, or I've got to call it like 2 section. Again, I'm not a musically trained person. I can sing for shit. So, yeah. So let's start.
Now when I was a young man, I carried my pack and I lived the free life of a rover. From the Murray's green basin to the dusty outback, well, I waltzed my Matilda all over. Then in 1915, my country said, son, it's time you stopped rambling, there's work to be done. So they gave me a tin hat and they gave me a gun, and they marched me away to the war. And the band played Waltzing Matilda as the ship pulled away from the quay.
That woman uniform is probably one size too big.
The cheese, flag waving and tears, we sailed off for Gallipoli.
Stop. So the first verse is about how the guy that written by Boyle again. I'm just calling Eric because I know how to pronounce Eric. So Eric wrote in The Young Man, probably teenagers, because you got drafted into war. I don't think you get drafted when you're like 30 plus. Anyway, I could be wrong because I'm not from around. So when he's a young man, he carry a pack, backpacking. Well, Waltzing Matilda is just like backpacking, literally, I think. You get everything you had in your backpack, or what they call swag. You probably, well, it will be in the Waltzing Matilda lyrics, but anyway, so you go from Murray. Murray is Murray River. Murray Basin is around Murray Darling River. So it's like the whole, because Murray River is I think it's the longest Australian river. So you basically go from north to south around the east coast. So it'll be like from Queensland through New South Wales, which is where I live, to Victoria. So I walked by Matilda all over, means he just carry his back all over. So then by the time 1915 come, the country says to him what to be done, means he got dropped into war. And they give him a hat, which is a helmet and a gun. I mean, they send him to war. And when they send him to war, the band played Waltzing Matilda as the ship, like fanfaring. Whenever you have a troop deploy, you got a bunch of fanfare like in the freeze frame here now. You have a soldier on the ship. You have people in the dark, lined up in the dark. And when the ship pulled away from the quay, again, I said yesterday when I was doing the long form, I said circular quay, because I'm not sure there are any quay in eastern Australian seaboard. Circular quay is a place in New South Wales where the harbour, the Sydney harbour, located. So yeah. And all the TSV waving and cheer. Again, it's talking about the fanfare, sending him off to war. And the destination is Gallipoli, which is the birth of the ANZAC legend. This is why we're doing this, because you're like in 4 days' time will be ANZAC Day, this Saturday. Lest we forget. Let's continue.
And how I remember that terrible day, how our blood stained the sand and the water, and how in their hell that they called Suvla Bay, we were butchered like lambs at the slaughter. Johnny Turkey was waiting, he'd primed himself well. He shot us with bullets and rained us with shell. And in 5 minutes flat, we were all blown to hell. Nearly blew us right back to Australia. But the band played Waltzing Matilda as they carried us down the gangway. But nobody cheered, they just stood there and stared. Then they turned all their faces away.
I think they actually skipped words on this, I'm not sure. Because I remember there's more yesterday when I reacted to the song that originally sang by Eric Boyer. But anyway, so what the second part is just that same guy, Eric Boyer wrote in, the main character. Basically shipped to Gallipoli, and they're first landing at a place called Suva. Suva is the I'm not gonna say opening action, but one of the worst battle. It's called Suva Bay. I think it's in the if I remember correctly, it's in the northwestern side of the cove. Just give me 2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds. Look it up. Where's Suva Bay? Okay, this map doesn't help. Suva Bay is in the western coast, northwestern. Did I say northeastern? I think I thought it's in the northwestern, but it was like actually the east coast, west coast of the Gallipoli Peninsula. So they have to land there, establish a bridgehead, which is usually bad because enemy gotta be waiting, especially the standard procedure is you prepare the battlefield, so you bomb them, and back then it would be using battleship, and they will be waiting. That's what the song's about. The Johnny Turk is the Turkish infantry, what we call Johnny Turk, like the British we call Tommy, and Aussie we call Digger, because they keep digging. That's from the another famous battle in during World War II. Where is the did I actually? Oh no, sorry, that's fine. So Johnny Tusk was ready. He primed himself well. He'd been waiting, bring his bullet, bring up his shell, bring down the shell. In 5 minutes flat, we all blown to hell. That's because you're like That's a very famous saying. With a Japanese channel called Kobayashi, if you watch The Flag of Our Father, you would know. No, sorry, the other one. Letter to Iwo Jima, you will know. So basically, normally when you are defending a coastal attack, you try to beat off the invader when they land, like in Normandy D-Day. So when they are still in the ship, that's the most fun because you have to line up as a unit. So you get what we call an enfilade event. So when the machine gun shot right straight perpendicular to the ship, if you didn't get the first guy, you would get the second guy because it's right next to it, right behind them. So, but what Kobayashi said is you wait for them to come. You wait for them to come on the beach because the beach is a natural obstacle. You can't run on the beach. So it will mean when the beach is full of people and equipment, that's when you attack. That is what maximum casualty is. That's probably what the Turk done there. So 5 minutes. That's how it takes. That's how long it takes. Most engagement, what we call troop in contact, doesn't last like it don't last like an hour. Most of them don't. Some of them do. But troop in contact is a very short concept. I mean, of course, some of the Normandy is one of the example. But when they are in a battle, it's a very. I mean, you never into battle, you won't know. But if you were in a battle, you will know. In that 5 minutes, it sounds like forever. It's like because you have to do a lot of things in those 5 minutes in order to survive. And you're not just care about you; you have to care about your comrade. As a lieutenant, as a platoon commander, when I was in contact, I mean, like, I need to make sure everyone is okay. So the first thing I gotta say, if everybody okay, sound off, report, whatever you want, and then then you start to figure how you get out of this shit, and then how you defeat the enemy, because you can't. Well, sometimes you can, but not all the way you can. You have to defeat your enemy to go on to the next objective. Otherwise, if you can't, what you do? If you can, what will you do? That's all happened in those 5 minutes when you're in contact. And you got like 100 million decisions to make. More if you're probably 100 million decisions for an officer like me. But you have a lot of decisions to make when you're in contact. So in 5 minutes, that's all it takes to have everything gone to shit. And the hilarious blow up back home to Australia. And then she, not he, because the original singer is a he, and then she started talking about, I think it started third section of the song, is she got shipped home, he got shipped home, and then it's hard to switch between pronouns because she's singing about him. I don't know why he did that. They should have a man singing. I'm not a sexist, all right? But I mean, it's just really hard to keep track on who did what. She sing about him, so yeah, that's why. Anyway, so our digger, 1915, maybe 18 years old, they got wounded. I think she missed the whole part. Then she's go straight into the coming back at the dock. Coming back to the dock, where people line up, watch because he would be in a hospital ship now, unload. And people were gonna be looking, and they're not gonna when you unload a hospital ship, it's not gonna be fit young men coming off. They will be all usually in a steamliner. In modern time, will be on a jet plane. Whenever you send the medevac, or that's what it is, a medical evacuation. It's never gonna be good, and the people will look and stare. Especially in this case, our digger is losing. I mean, I think she did saying that in the song, but he lost his leg, got blown up by artillery shell, and then dramatically blown up. And then when he woke up in the hospital bed, and he got bunched up with all the wounded, crippled, insane, armless, legless soldier. Yeah, go watch the video yesterday. That would be the full song, and then the full explanation, or sensing. I mean, I'm just trying to get my perspective as a fellow vet. I mean, and when he come back home, nobody waiting for him, and then they carry down. I think that's what she did say. They carried him down from the gangway. Nobody cheer. They just stand and stare. It's like, yeah, and I talked about it yesterday. I saw a guy. I definitely sure he's in the army, well, at least in the military. Buzz cut, dog tag. He carried himself like a soldier. And then we found, I think he lost a leg. I remember, I think it's the right leg. I'm not sure because my mind's actually quite messed up, and everybody just stared at him like the whole trip. That's not a good look, man. I mean, when you, especially, that's what the song talking about. There's something worse than death, something worse than dying. that's worse than dying. Because you have to live with that forever. Because your leg's gone, it's not gonna come back. And but sometimes, I mean, some people can take it, but some just don't. I mean, I never seen that myself, but I heard story that people got wounded seriously and they just asked for mercy kill. No point saving them. Because even though if you save him, they gotta be like comatose or something. There's just no point at all. So then they turn and all face away means they just don't want to look. Well, from my experience, turn and face away is even worse than you look at him and stare. But I don't know, because I'm lucky enough not to lose anything, not even a finger over there. Let's continue.
So now every April I sit on my porch and I watch the parades pass before me. And I see my old comrades, how proudly they march, reviving old dreams of past glories. And the old men march slowly, old bones stiff and sore.
That's an infantry pad.
Tired old heroes from a forgotten war. And the young people ask, what are they marching for?
I think she's a pirate.
And I ask myself the same question. But the band plays Waltzing Matilda, and the old men still answer the call. But as year follows year, more men disappear. Someday no one will march there at all. Waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda, who'll come waltzing Matilda with me? And their ghosts may be heard as they march by that billabong. Who'll come a-waltzing Matilda with me.
Okay, so the last verse is obviously from the tune Waltzing Matilda. Okay, the last section of the song, because I gotta play the Waltzing Matilda line last to close it up. So the last section of the song is about the digger we are talking about now, probably a few decades, I don't know, because they're old men now. I mean, depends on how you define old. I mean, I'm 45. I'm old for most people. But anyway, so in April means April 25th. That's the date of ANZAC Day. Watch the parade pass. There's also an ANZAC Day parade. Always, not also. What they talk about ANZAC Day parade. Usually one in every suburb. See my old comrade, probably they march, because when you march, they march the veteran, the current service member, and the family member as well. You can go to march if you're family member or veteran. Within dream pass go usually means they either have the medal display proudly, and I don't know if you can wear uniform to march here after you discharge. In the state, I think you can, because you can use uniform after you discharge in a certain way. Not sure if this is okay, because marching is not something you do in America. The whole career I marched maybe 5 times. I served for 8 years. You have to do the passing out march. I mean, not counting the when they train you how to march, the drill and foot drill and stuff, the step and foot drill and stuff. So then you probably march, some dictator coming out, whatever. Not, you do march when you go to VFW, this like ourselves here. in Australia. But I mean, you probably have once or twice. That's it. Yeah, I believe in past glory. See old men all tired, stiff and worn. And then they're the old hero for a forgotten war. It's actually just saying people gotta start. That's the whole theme of the ANZAC. Least we forget, less we forget, not least we forget. And so people don't forget. That's why they have that thing every year, April 25th. Because they're all like full vet, like me. I don't mind people don't care about what I did, but I do mind when people forget why we were there. Especially as I going on a tangent yesterday when I talked about, when I come back home, nobody cares. They live their life as usual. And that sucks because you're starting to think what am I going for? That's what that guy think. This guy think, not that guy. This guy think. Young people ask, what are they marching for? I'm asking myself the same question. Because I don't know. If you don't know, then I don't know. Because I was there fighting for you, and if you don't know, then how would I know? I don't even know what for then. So the band played Waltzing Matilda, and the old man still answered the call. Means they're still coming in every year, but year after year the number disappeared. The old man disappeared. Meaning people die, people pass away. The D word probably not very good, but people do pass away, and someday no one will be watching at all. That is when that thing. I mean, the thing as I said before, when people forget, because if nobody actually commemorating this, then nobody can remember. Sooner or later, it will be just a statistic in this history book. And then the verse of Waltzing Matilda, which I'm gonna play it now to end the video.
Who come a waltzing Matilda with me? Matilda, waltzing Matilda. Who come a waltzing Matilda with me? And their ghosts may be heard as they march by that billabong. Who come a waltzing Matilda with me.
That poignant notes, lest we forget.